Howdy, folks. It is baseball time in Texas, everybody. Oh gosh. Getting very giddy here. I am JP Heath. This is the Texas Porch special late night edition here. And if I was not so giddy in my team's victory, I would have put some batteries in this, but I had it back here the whole time. And I didn't put batteries in it. But anyway, I've got lots of goodies. The Nathaniel Lowe bobblehead remains here, and you'll really appreciate this. I don't know where I got this from. Can you see it?
The Lone Star something. Lone Star
Series.
Uh-huh.
So apologies with our mass viewing and listening audience out there now. I don't know who got me this or where I picked it up from, but is that officially a Beanie Baby? I don't know. And why is it a bear?
Maybe it was supposed to be whatever the Rangers mascot is.
Captain?
Captain, yeah, maybe it's just a bad a bad impression of it.
Anyway, we're letting folks get on the stream now, doing things a little bit different. It is the Texas Porch doing a live reaction show. Want to know where you are watching us from? Already had a Brock shout out, I'm sure, there in the great Rockwall County, smallest county of the 254 in our great state of Texas. Want to know what you're thinking about this one on the Astros side, on the Rangers side. If you did not get the memo, well, there was a little bit of a baseball game tonight there in the Bayou City, and the Texas Rangers won game one by a 2-0 score. Clearly, the series is over. Clearly, no team has. I think I saw the stat. Didn't they flash up the stat on the graphic? What the page that no team's ever come back from a 1-0 series in ALCS history? Was that correct or not?
It's over. The Astros probably won't score a run the whole series, so it's done. Too bad we can't have 3 more of these because I'm done after tonight because the Astros season's over.
Please like here. We're going to get cranked into the meat of this in a second, but if you could do us the favor of liking this on your YouTube and or Facebook stream. We're going out to the masses, Josh. I paid the podcast man and I paid the streaming folks tonight. Big stream getting a lot of the Heath coins here tonight, but we want to get folks' reaction to this one as the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros playing for the first time in the postseason. Lots to discuss on this one. Rangers 2 and Astros nothing. My gosh. Initial gut reaction here. Kind of the purpose of this here show. What are your thoughts? And anybody out there is watching, we'd like to get some comments rolling in here too. What are your thoughts, Josh? I'll give you mine in a second.
It seems like the Astros have played this game like 30 times at home this year where they just don't show up, make some boneheaded mistakes, can't hit. Pretty good pitching tonight. I won't say it's outstanding pitching. I don't know. It's one I'm not surprised by it. I thought they'd show up better than they did tonight. Some awful base running there at the end, some not good hitting. All credit to the Rangers. The Rangers did enough. Like, they didn't just bash the pitching like they can every once in a while. So, I think the Rangers winning tonight gives them the confidence that they can go out there and get it done. Same time, I think the Astros have been there long enough. They know a game 1 loss isn't the worst thing in the world. I don't know. Maybe I need to be more football and overreactionary and just go crazy and say that there's no way they can come back from it. But I don't know. But if they lose tomorrow, maybe be a little bit more worried. But the Astros have lost 2 at home before, and went home and won 3 in a row before coming back and losing 2 in a row on the road. So it's they've been there before. They've got the experience. I think the Rangers probably needed a game like tonight more than the Astros did. Um, Same point. It's not like the Astros were trying to lose or anything. So I think it's one the Rangers can be happy about, and they did what they needed to do to win, and the Astros did what they needed to lose.
Eric Nadell agrees with all your points there, especially, by the way, for those that do not remember, I don't know if I've told this story, but this is the armless Eric Nadell, my all-time favorite broadcaster on essentially my all-time favorite team, had a bobblehead day a few years ago. You remember this story, how I look forward to it, never look forward to anything in life, folks. But my dad gave me his Nadell bobblehead that had arms, but somehow I ended up back with the Eric Nadell bobblehead without arms. And he would talk too. He'd say, "Hello, everybody. That ball's history," or something like that. But anyway, I've got a lot of my Rangers accoutrement celebrating this one, but you nailed it. The Rangers certainly needed that one more than the Astros did, just for what it was. I mean, they're riding high. What have they won? 6 games in a row now. They got great pitching. The cynic in me, for those that aren't as familiar with the presentation. By the way, this is regularly a podcast presentation, getting back into the streaming side of things. Generally, folks, positive in life, negative and cynical in my sports rooting interest. And I would say in that mindset, Astros have them right where they want them. You and I went to the game where, what was it? Like major league records were set where they had the most home runs and most runs scored. Altuve had the 5-6 homer series or something like that. But that's obviously a different team. But the Astros have played a lot better on the road this year. So that's the part of me that says, oh, yeah, the Astros have them right where they want them. But it was a strong defensive game on the Rangers' part. The ball really found Evan Carter. How about that nifty catch or two there down the left field line early on the first few innings? And then that one that I thought that Bregman hit right off the bat, thought it was gone. I knew it was gone. But in that little kind of quirky corner there where he goes back out more in the alley underneath the gas station pump, leans back, and he almost he under jumped that one as he went back and kind of scooped it in front of the Rangers bullpen. But yeah, at that same time, that was the play of the game. If you have one play that folks might not remember 5 years from now, but I mean, Altuve doesn't get doubled off there. I don't know if you saw any of the post-game reaction yet. Dusty saying, "Oh yeah, it was up for interpretation." It wasn't up for interpretation. He clearly didn't go back and retouch the bag. It wasn't up for interpretation. But if Altuve doesn't have that play, you have, I guess you don't have the tying run in scoring position, but you have Chapman, as shaky as he is there in a house of horrors for him in the 8th inning. So yeah, I just kind of blacked out there for a second. It spit out a bunch of stuff, but it was huge because the Rangers, like you said, that's where I started with all this. The Rangers needed that one a lot more than the Astros did. But you just said that, so.
Yeah, I mean, what a crazy thing of emotions right there. The Bregman one that off the bat, I thought it was a home run too, because the Astros have the crazy short left field. And if he actually just totally pulls it, that's like on the train tracks. But he missed it by about 3 feet. Carter didn't play that all that well. I mean, he caught it, so he did what he needed to do. But like the Astros have been there so many times that they just, they're there at the outfield because they know the wall better, and they catch that one. It's not a big deal, which I think might be why Altuve got doubled up. Is Carter was jumping like 3 feet short of the wall, so they didn't think he had it. And yeah, just a wild swing from one end to the other. I mean, he did. I'm not trying to undersell what he did. It's just that's a quirky outfield, like totally. Yeah. So he played it well, but at the same time, I think if he doesn't play it like he does, like if he just takes a step back and catches it like a normal fly ball, then Altuve hitting around second, and then at least that part doesn't happen. And you're right about I don't know why Baker is saying that's a interpretation thing other than to take his players to have his players back. But yeah, he obviously went slightly past second. Like if he didn't take an extra step, then he doesn't have to retrace his steps. But on replay, as much of an Astros homer as I want to be, and I wanted to say, oh yeah, that we got screwed.
Mm.
I mean, that's the rule. You have to once you go past second, you have to tag the base again. And the angles weren't great, but he definitely didn't touch it going back. So yeah, the whole game swung there because Chapman is a head case. Like I think if he gets up there and he has a chance to give up a home run or a chance to do worse, then it's going to happen. And that one let him settle down, let him get the 2 outs, and get out of that situation.
Yeah, so that we both agree that was the big play of the game. And Leclerc coming on, he's been lights out. We saw it through the last couple weeks of the regular season, how he really grabbed a hold of the shakiest of all shaky bullpen situations and became the guy. And he's been that dude in the postseason. I wish I had thought ahead and pull some of this audio because they have Jordan Montgomery on the podium now. But I typed up a bunch of notes, but how about this between him and Verlander? Did you see that was the first time this postseason where both starters went 6 innings in a game? The whole postseason. And it's all about pitching and defense, but I guess that kind of underscores it's a game where you got to go to the binder here. And what do we do here in this game? It wasn't that case in this game, but yeah, it was that shocked me. That shocked me when I saw that both starters went 6 innings, but Montgomery, he went 6 1/3. I kind of wanted to see him go at least 7 to minimize that, but Josh Sborz did not do Josh Sborz things in that, and he has been sturdier as the Rangers bullpen has gotten better. But yeah, the just to reset things and go back through the whole kit and caboodle here. Rangers have won 6 games in a row now in the postseason after the dreadful end to the regular season. It's the 7th straight ALCS by the Astros. And they're looking to be the first team to repeat as world champions since the first part of this century, since the hated New York Yankees. And it's the first ALCS since 2011 by our Texas Strangers, or at least my Texas Strangers. Astros dominated the regular season series 9-4. But the first postseason matchup between the two teams, and without a doubt, the biggest in the Silver Boot series, going out on a limb with that one, right, Harvard? Just the biggest game ever between these two teams. But we talked about the initial thoughts. Here's kind of a quasi-game recap, the way this one shook up. The Rangers got the lead in the second on a Jonah Heim single. There goes that man again, mama. Evan Carter continues to do good things getting on base. There was lots of contact early off Verlander. He had one swing and miss through the first 5 innings. Is that kind of how Verlander has been? We know he's 40. He's a grown man. He's 40. And he's still great, okay? He's obviously great, but he's not getting his swing and miss stuff as much. Did that start look like a lot of the Verlander starts that you saw every pitch throughout the since the time he rejoined Houston?
You know, it hadn't been that drastic, like with no swing and miss. I mean, he's had less swing and miss than usual, but he still gets 7, 8 strikeouts a game. So you have to have at least a few of those to get through that. But I mean, he kind of battled his way through a couple innings, and then he started coasting outside of the Tavares home run. Like, yeah, I mean, it was more typical of Verlander this year than it would have been a couple years ago. But Rangers really good lineup. Like, I mean, they're more drastic towards that tendency of making contact, not striking out a whole ton, at least for the most part. So
Yeah, lately too. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, he was good. Like he's a veteran. He figured it out. I mean, two runs through the time he was out there, 6 2/3. Like they should win that game. I mean, Montgomery, as good as he was, the Astros shouldn't get shut out by him for 6 1/3 innings. So he did his job. It wasn't the overpowering Verlander you would think, like from a few years ago, but that's kind of what he is now. So no, I thought if you were told me if we would have done a pregame wrap up or a pregame before the game and said Verlander's going to go 6 2/3, give up 2 runs, I'd be like, yeah, the
Yeah,
Astros
of
are
course.
golden, and they weren't because Montgomery was a little bit better than him.
Yeah, just a little better. His off speed stuff, and he had more of that swing and miss stuff. His changeup was really working. And I mean, you know them inside and out, but remembering and hearing it recited how well the Astros hit against left-handed pitching, obviously trust in Boch, but he knew what he was doing, putting Montgomery out there. He had the option to put Evaldi out there on regular rest, but obviously he Hall of Fame manager. He knows what he's doing. But anyway, continuing that wrap up, there was a big out on Alvarez at the end of the third inning from Montgomery. I sent you that tweet. It's comical how they were pitching Alvarez. I guess that was that game, or was that the last game of the last series too? Just nothing out of like 15. So I guess that was that game. Out of 15 pitches, no strikes whatsoever. And he is a beast and a half. So Rangers obviously pitched him well, but then after they got Alvarez out in the third, the Astros stranded the bases loaded in the fourth, and they stranded 5 runners combined between those 2 innings. Rangers got some insurance with Leody Taveras solo home run to right field, really sweet swing, and that was all the scoring in the game, folks. As Montgomery grinded and retired the last 8 guys that he faced, and like Josh just said, Verlander was did a really admirable job there. I mean, he didn't cough up the game by any means, but I mean, you look at what Montgomery has done, being the stud down the stretch for Texas, but also Texas starters an ERA of 1.82 in the postseason. Philly, the only one better, and it was also Verlander's first loss in the postseason, first game 1 loss, excuse me, since game 1 of the 2012 World Series. But that dicey 8th inning, Spores gives way to Chapman in Minute Maid Park. There's a history, folks. Look it up. He comes in with no outs. And what's this? We already broke that down a little bit, but Evan Carter makes the leaping catch. There's your left fielder of the future, Rangers fans. And I don't know if it's controversial. It seems to me, but I'm watching it with Rangers contact lenses there. Big gaff there by Altuve, as it turned out. And then Simeon and Young immediately knew it. They had the best angle on it. And it goes to the review, and it works out. And Leclerc comes on and closes it down. Obviously, the series is over, and there's no chance for the Astros to come back in this one with tongue firmly planted in cheek. So, yeah. Any other idle musings back there in your East Texas bunker there?
I mean, I think I said earlier tonight was like a lot of Astros games this season, just kind of listless at home. Like they can't get the key hit. They had their chances early. You mentioned that they left 5 runners on in the second and third, or third and fourth. That's when they had their chance, and one of them was bases loaded, and then Maldonado comes up. So you kind of have to live with that. Like the Astros pitchers like pitching to him, but at the same time, the drawback is he might come up with the bases loaded in a big situation, and they're not going to pinch hit for him that early. So um, that is what it is in the terms of Parcells. But Altuve's made a bunch of really bad base running errors this year. There's been the defense is good for the Astros tonight, but there's been a bunch of games where the defense has kind of failed them. So I don't know. The Rangers did what they had to win. The Astros were a hit away 2 or 3 different times during the game, and it's basically, I don't have a whole lot to add there. I was glad you gave me about 10 minutes to sit there and collect my thoughts after the Altuve thing and the not coming through. Tucker's been really bad. Like Tucker's going to have to do something to get going if they're going to make a good run. And he's totally capable of it. He's just in a really bad rut right now. I think he's batting probably 125 in the playoffs so far. So he needs to get something going. Uh, Other than that, got to score more than 0 runs to win, JP. This is my dynamite analysis that if they score 0 in any more games in the series, then they're not going to win that game.
That's why you're paying the small bucks, folks. No, I'm getting a smirk on sports Twitter, not at your expense, but apparently Ted Cruz was there, senator, not to wade off into politics.
I saw.
The Rangers are now 2-0 with Ted Cruz in attendance. So someone said, "I'll take up a collection to keep." The Astros are 0-2, I guess. Yeah, he didn't go to a Rangers one. Astros are 0-2. Someone says, "I'll take up a collection to keep the Grim Reaper of sports teams in orange for the entire series."
Well, I know what it'll take to get him to Cancun.
Dang it, we're live here. I can't edit in my rim shot, so folks get all this free of charge here. But how about Monty? Did you like that Jordan dunking on Jordan meme I sent you?
It was clever. Like it was good.
I didn't make it, but gave
I
me
know.
a sport smile there.
Yeah, it's just like me. Anytime I send one, I never make them, but that's pretty clever. But I would remember that whenever Jordan hits a game-winning homer in Game 5 or something.
Yeah, 6 to walk off the series or something like that, right? Yeah.
Off Montgomery, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So how about hearing from the Rangers, Jordan, as big fella got that dub? Talk credit here to Bally Sports Southwest on the fly production. Does it work?
Way for you guys to start
this
series. What does it do for you all to come out and get a win here in Game 1?
It's always good to win Game 1, but we got 3 more games to win, so nothing to celebrate. We're gonna get right back to it tomorrow.
When you go up against a guy like Justin Verlander, are you thinking about that at all?
No, more focused on their hitters. They're such a good lineup. Just trying to go inning by inning and go as deep as I could.
What did you feel like was working for you and Jonah tonight?
A little bit of everything. Got the curveball going those last couple innings, expanded. Really just kind of had to throw to every quadrant, and grind out some pitches.
What can you say about the job that this defense did, not only tonight, but that has done the entire season?
They were great. Evan made a lot of catches out there. And that one when I wasn't even out there was exceptional. But they played great. Jonah was awesome tonight. And altogether, good baseball.
So, yeah, he kind of paraphrased, or you paraphrased him. Holding a team to no runs is a good thing. But, yeah, the Rangers take that win, and Emily Jones there at Bally interviewing Jordan Montgomery. Coming up in Game 2, you've got Nathan Eovaldi, quick turnaround against Framber Valdez. Thoughts on that one, as Framber did not have the great start in the last round against those Twinkies. And Eovaldi's been pitching he has been pitching as well as consistently towards, that last start for the Rangers. Can I have any more qualifiers in there, Josh? Eovaldi's been pitching really well, and he and Montgomery, a tough 1-2 tandem there at the top of the rotation. But from Astros homeboy perspective, what do you need to see from Framber in that one?
For Framber to be what he was last year, all year. The thing about Framber, he can be really good. Like, he's as good as it comes when he's on. I think this year the pitch clock rules kind of got to him. Like, he didn't have time to clear his head. We were at a game this year when Framber lost his mind, and gave up 8 runs in 3 innings. So when things are going good, things are going really good. So Astros need that kind of outing from him, because when things go bad, they go bad quickly. So he's capable, like kind of like the whole Astro season that we talked about previously. Uh, you know, it should be better than it has been, and it hasn't been. But yeah, I mean that's what Uvalde's had very mixed results against the Astros. He's given up 4 home runs in an inning against the Astros before, and he's been not good at certain times, and then sometimes he's been good. So I think both pitchers are kind of in the same boat. Like it wouldn't shock me tomorrow if the Rangers are up 5-0 after 2 innings, or the Astros are up 5-0 after 2 innings. So it's kind of, I mean, that's not great analysis there, saying anything could happen, but they're both capable of being really good or capable of being really bad.
Well, don't sell yourself short there. We got you on here for a reason. Good analysis there, but glancing at a few other things in the box score, this one, I wanted to look up the first off, 2 hours, 49 minutes. Yeah, that's how I need my playoff games, how long I need them to last. If you could get them down to 239, 229, I'm not complaining. But take a guess. What were the Astros with runners in scoring position, and how many did they strand? Unless you've seen it, you can tell me too.
I mean, they had one hit, I remember, where a runner had to get held at third because it was hit pretty hard. I guess they were one of 12 of the runners in scoring position with 10 guys left on.
That's the thing. I would have thought that too. They're 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position.
Okay, so you just didn't have guys in scoring position.
They just didn't have
a on base, yeah.
And they stranded 6. Rangers stranded 5. And what were they? 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. The Rangers' top 4 of the order was a combined 1 for 16. You had 0 for 4 sprinkled in by Simeon. He has really struggled in the postseason. 0 for 4 from Garver. Verlander got him, painted that fastball nice there. Was that 5th, 6th inning, got him out. Garcia was 0 for 4, but Taveras had 2 hits, the only Ranger that had multiple hits. And Carter, 1 for 4, scored one of the runs, and Taveras scored the other run on that solo dinger. And 5 different Astros had the 5 hits in that game. The only 2 walks coming from the Astros, that one big walk from Aldonado, where it looked like it was going to lead to maybe a big inning. And then Altuve had a walk. But 5 hits from the 5 guys, Bregman, Abreu, McCormick, Dubon, Pena had 5 hits in that one. So, but from the Rangers side, going tomorrow with Eovaldi, obviously you feel comfortable with it, but you'd like to think you're getting the same Eovaldi that closed out the Orioles series, and you just and pitched well, of course, in Tampa Bay, but I don't see why not. I mean, he has been out there as a very sturdy guy in the postseason. The lights have come on, but he just did not pitch well at all in that. I guess he started the game right before we went to the Verlander-Scherzer matchup. And here we are 29 minutes in, just talking about Scherzer getting added to the roster here this round, along with Big John Gray. So I don't know. I'm happy.
I think that's the most fascinating part of the series is the Rangers bring back guys. They're bringing back Scherzer. They're bringing back Gray for possibly games 3 and 4 without having starts back. Like that was the problem with Scherzer with the game that he pitched against the Astros that we went to. He had no rehab. He just came back. And I mean, you don't have any option here, but what are you getting from him? Like as much as I don't know about tomorrow, I really don't know about Scherzer and Gray coming back to pitch games 3 and 4 possibly, because that is like the roll of a dice because there's no idea what could happen with them.
Well, now I think he gets one out of them, one start, and I think in his bullpen he threw 68 pitches a few days ago. So you ramp that up to 70. You can get 6 innings, you're golden, but probably more realistically getting 4 or 5 innings from Verlander. I did it again. I called Scherzer Verlander in our last episode. But yeah, if you can get Scherzer, I know less about the Gray situation ramping up. He was kind of a mixed bag down the stretch. You know what you're getting, I think, with Scherzer, but I think I'd call Gray sturdy. How does it shape up on the Astros side after tomorrow with Valdez? Assume Javier comes back in the first game in Arlington. No.
Yeah, that's not great either. Javier's going to be game 3, and he can be pretty good. Game 4 is going to be, I'd assume, Urquidy again. Like game 2 tomorrow, you would think both those pitchers can make that a pitcher's duel like today. I think game 3 and 4, I think that's going to be when the slugfests hit, and you just don't know because the Rangers have the great lineup. But if those guys, if Scherzer, I mean, there's one thing about pitching a bullpen and ramping up. There's one thing about pitching a game. Like, I think that's got the potential to be the 10-9, 12-11, 13-12 game that they played at some point in the year. I remember I was driving back from Colorado, listening like, man. But yeah, that's when things get crazy. So game 2, I mean, stating the obvious here, big game because Rangers go back home 2-0. It's not ideal for the Astros. It's 1-1. It's kind of a anybody series thing again.
Yeah, 100%. You've got your split if you're the Rangers, but again, wrapping this thing up. But cynical sports JP thinks, well, it is such a different team though that the Rangers will be bringing back to Arlington that they didn't face against the Astros. It's a totally different team. And a couple final thoughts to kind of land this plane is, when does the bullpen kind of pee down their leg in this one or do something else? I shouldn't be thinking so negatively, but the Astros bring that out against the Rangers and amplify it and just crush the Rangers' souls. So that's what's got me nervous. That's what would worry me as well on that side of things. But I can't wait, Josh. Really like doing these live presentations. Yes, indeed. Good timing there, Betty Lou. She says better luck tomorrow. She's kind of in your neck of the woods there. We're going to be seeing her in the morning as Havard and Heath Moving Company is back, baby. And you'll get to pick the lunch spot. My treat, within reason, you know. We went to the second rate. Are we calling that first rate taco joint that we went to last week when I saw you?
Nah, it's definitely second rate, but it's a step up. It's a step above the other one we went to. So
comparatively,
yeah, you know how picky I am. So I'm going to pick out the most expensive spot in Lufkin, which is going to be put you at least like $12 back.
All right, folks, that's it. We're over time. I've got my Beanie Baby. I have Armless Eric Nadell. I've got Nathaniel Lowe. He's got to pick it up, Josh. He had that homer last series, but you got to bring your stuff next time. This is just me grabbing it coming down to the wire, but
yeah, I got my Astros background on the other side, so it's.
All right, man. We'll see you soon. See you bright and early in the morning.
Yep, I will see you then.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning into this one. Again, reminder, this is a podcast. If you'd like to find our regular episodes, if there are ever any regular episodes, you can go on the, what do they call that? Podcast. You can go on your podcast feed, Apple, Spotify. It's ad-lib, Josh, this broadcasting genius. You can't just fake it. You can follow us. I'm on Twitter, Mr. Texas JP. But the big thing now for you streaming folks, can follow the Texas Porch page on Facebook and YouTube as well. Have a great rest of this night. God bless you. God bless Texas. We'll talk to you next time out here on the Texas Porch. Go Rangers.
Astros and 6.
I still agree.
See, there's Vicky. She said